things that have truly affected me, like a lot of it negatively. So it's, what do I do that isn't dark? But I kind of feel like in order to get past this album's even more dark, and it's going to have more of a sinister kind of, I'm public enemy number one. Everybody's out to get me. Everybody hates me. So I'm kind of like, fuck you back. If you're big enough, bring it.
I agree with that concept. So with that said, did you guys name the album yet, or is it just Sister Kill Cycle, self-titled?
No, it's going to be Public Enemy number one. It's going to be the name of the album. I'm going to do that old cliche, single track and name of the album. It's
Is there merch?
Oh,
You're getting ready for all of this?
Yeah, got tons of new merch coming out. Probably at least 6 new T-shirt designs, along with some new items that we've never ever thought about carrying before. I don't know why, but we just didn't. But we're gonna have the whole spew: guitar picks, buttons, stickers, thongs, T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies.
Yep. I know that feeling. That's I'm in the same thing, man. It's anything to get the name out there.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, and some people don't want to buy a T-shirt, but some people, like stickers. They put stickers in their cars or on their notebooks or whatever. So being able to offer a variety of things to a variety of people, is always a good idea. So, I mean, marketing is really important these days.
Are you going to take stuff like physical merchandise out, or is it going to be like an online store where it's just printed as it's...
No, we're doing both. I made the online store available. Found a really great company right now that we're working with, and basically they house the merchandising, they do the printing, and they just give me a cut of the sales. So technically I'm not making very much on it, but therefore I don't have anything in it. There's no investment.
Right. Yeah. So you're still getting a little bit out of the pot there. So.
Right.
But when it comes to the merchandising, I mean, are you strict about what material you use and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nothing sucks worse than getting a T-shirt and it fading after 2 or 3 washes, or the sleeves rip out. So everything's Gildan, high quality, 50/50 blends.
Oh, you guys have any more new sponsors, or who are your sponsors now? I know you worked with BC Rich in the past.
Yeah, we've been with BC Rich now for probably about 10 years, and I honestly don't see myself going anywhere else other than BC Rich, except for Island from Together in Exile and Jerry. They, I believe, have a guitar company. I think it's Voodoo Guitars or something like that. But I designed a guitar and I threw it to BC Rich, but they didn't want nothing to do with it.
I remember when you did something like that.
But just recently I threw it to them and they liked the idea. So right now they're building a prototype. So we're going to see how it comes out, and if it's all that in a bag of tricks, it might be the new guitars for us. So
that's cool. That's awesome. Have you thought about stage lighting and all that stuff? Is that something that's being programmed that going to be part of the show?
Our new live shows. I mean, even now, if you catch some of these before the tour kicks off, we've put like a lot of money into the production now, kind of like how we used to do back in the day when we first broke down here in Florida. We had huge production, lighting, and all that stuff, and I guess we just got lazy and we kind of like went the rock and roll route, just get up on stage and play in front of anybody, and I mean that's all well and good to be able to do that, the Iggy Pop thing, but something about having the production to me makes the show more entertaining, and ultimately that's my goal, to perform for people and entertain them. I've never wanted to be the kind of band with an Yngwie Malmsteen in it and do solos and I mean there's so many people out there. There's probably 1 million kids out there that can play better than anybody you ever heard in their bedroom. So I mean, to me, that it's impressive musically, but that doesn't entertain me. When I go out and see Alice Cooper, cutting his freaking head off and
Right.
doing stuff like that, running around with crutches, angsty. That entertains me. So I've always been drawn to that kind of show. So,
Yeah, when you want to sell, a $200 ticket at a certain point at that level, it's got to be a production. But I never enjoyed bands who just really. It depends. If I followed them, it didn't bother me. But if I'm going to see a band for the first time, and you're up there in your sneakers that look like you just got done digging graves,
yeah,
it's not worth it. But as far as the tour, how much of that is booked now?
I have about 20 dates booked as of now. Just going through and hitting up all my people that I've worked with in the past, but. My idea is once it gets rolling, I just want to keep rolling, probably for most of next year. So once I find out exactly when the first date is going to be, then I'll probably about a month before the tour starts, I'll release all the dates and start doing publicity for it.
So I noticed like a lot of bands, and I think I seen you post a couple of times, for people to get in contact with you for venues or promoters. Is that an effective way to communicate and get shows? Because
it is, as long as your friends and your fans help you out on Facebook. I don't know if everybody knows this, but basically Facebook has a control knob on who all sees. So you may have 5,000 friends on your page, but when you post something, a very small percentage of those people get to see what you posted, unless you want to pay for an ad or to promote that. Then once you're handing them money, they kind of turn that knob up a little bit, and let it get out there, which, everybody's got to make a buck, right? But I think it's a social network that it's ridiculous. They already have ads on there. That should be enough.
Right, the amount of people is what drives that site. And if it wasn't for the people who are signing up for it for free, they wouldn't be able to drive that income on.
Right, and it's one of those things. You get an artist, you get bands. They go out there and they work promote themselves, and they're like, come like my Facebook page, all this stuff, and you build up a fan base, and then for Facebook to be able to control your fan base like that, I think that's kind of ridiculous. I think it's a fallacy. Just
I don't know why they do it. If you're going to advertise, you're gonna do it whether that's filtered or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it makes me not want. There's so many times I want to promote my show and pay $5 to see if it actually works.
Right.
And then I'm like, man, I just don't want to give them that $5.
Yeah.
It's not even that it's $5. If 50 cents, I just don't want to do it. The whole reason that they can survive is because people like us are on there. So.
Right. Exactly.
But they do offer cool stuff. We're doing Facebook Live, but they got to have money for investments, but they also have GMC advertising, McDonald's. All of these big companies. Why these little bands that are just,
Yeah, or personal people. If you want to advertise a birthday party, if you can't get all 50 people to come because Facebook won't let you.
Yeah, they cap how many people you can invite now to an event. So you got to get your friend to invite 50 people, and then it's out of control.
So back to your question. It can be effective. It has. I've done bookings that way before. Or it's like anything else. You can just go out here like everybody does, and pay a booking agency to book the shows for you. But I've got nearly 20 years in music, and I've got contact lists that I've worked with for at least the last 10 years. So I pretty much just send an email or pick up the phone and book the shows. So.
Yep, that's how I did it. Almost no matter how popular my band ever got, we always did it ourselves.
Yeah,
we always played like, hey, I'm the manager of this band. Yeah. But that's the game every band plays.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that's how we got into CBGBs, but it's all. That's
the game, man. That's the game.
It's just a game. So, are you going to do vinyl? I think we talked about that the
yeah,
last time.
Yeah, I am.
You put me down for a copy.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get you a copy. I mean, and that's another thing. You know, people don't email Jay. You got to grease him a little bit, and you get the super secret Jay phone number. So, and you just pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, bro," and then there's no annoying asshole, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
So, we're gonna do a run of vinyl. I've never done vinyl. I mean, even back in the day.
Right.
So I just want to see what it looks like. I want to give people, like, you know, something big. I remember the Kiss and Dallas Cooper albums. You open them up, and you know, and that's what's missing. You know, we're sitting here at this record store right now here in Clearwater, and I'm looking at all these people, and I don't see any CD. These are records. I mean, there's stacks of records up here. Here I can turn the phone around.
And even, I mean, next door, I mean, he's got more records. It's an actual store. This is just a record show side. Yeah. It's like twice the size over there. And he's got CDs and stuff over there. He's got a whole metal section. So he knows so much about music. But you guys should stop down here and check it out if you're local at Clearwater. It's at 1610 North Hercules Avenue in Clearwater, right by the railroad tracks. So if me and Raven can find it, you can find it too.
Yeah, especially me after last night.
But is there a label involved now, or
no? My own label. I'm to the point. We entertain the idea of going back out there and doing another contract with a label. But the way things are in the industry right now, I want to control every aspect of what my fans get. I don't want somebody to control it or tell me when to release or how to release or what I can release. So basically everything's under my label, Negative Image Entertainment Group. Now I'm just going to roll that way. I mean, I've got publishing and distribution through a couple other companies, but yeah, everything's through my label.
I know I wasn't going to talk about it again, but are you going to continue to play those two songs from that you did with Dixie? Or
we're going to continue. The other song, not so much. I mean, it's in the repertoire, whatever. But Dead Bird, yes. And I mean, we might as well just discuss my view on this. And we're live here, so everybody can hear. There has never been any misrepresentation of who wrote the song Dead Bird.
Right.
Just to clear the air, Dixie answered an ad for guitar for Sister Kill Cycle when we were looking for a guitarist. When I spoke to him, he told me he was in Sweden, and I was kind of like, okay, dude, do you realize we're in Florida in the United States? And, you know, his response was, oh, no, it's good. I go to L.A. all the time. I go to the States. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So if you want to come over here, I'd be happy to have you in the band. So in preparation for him coming over and getting rehearsals done to go on tour, he sent me a handful of songs from an album that he had done back in 2005. And I had asked him about it, and he's like, no, I wrote these songs. These are my songs. I can do whatever I want with them. I'm like, okay, cool. Because I really like this one and this one and this one. I picked like 3 or so out of it. We ended up doing 2 of them, recording with Evan at Here Kitty Kitty Studios. Recorded the songs together, went out 2 tours, touring together. As a band, as friends, as brothers. And then after the second tour, it just became too expensive for Dixie to fly over here. There wasn't a lot of money being made on the road, of course. You know, we go out there and we basically either break even or come home broke. But there wasn't a lot of money out there, so he couldn't afford to come to continue to stay in the band. So he chose to go back and work with his band, London-based Hellfire Club in Sweden. Now, just because you do that does not mean that the band stops playing the song that you went out and everybody loves the band playing the song. You know, it'd be like Ozzy Osbourne not playing Randy Rhoads stuff anymore. Or, you know, when Twiggy left Manson, if Manson couldn't play the stuff Twiggy wrote,
Right.
you know, a lot of people don't realize Twiggy writes a lot of the music for Manson, or had back in the day.
Back then, right?
So, you know,